Hey everyone, and welcome to the very first devlog for Project 2 here at Alta. Towards the end of last year, the team put together a vertical slice, a prototype, and we started posting small clips and update videos about the game's progress earlier this year. So to get you all caught up, the first 3 videos of this devlog series will be going over what the team has been working on so far this year, starting with February, which kicks things off with a look at the combat in the game currently. As an initial introduction to combat, we showcased a few fights against our current skeletal enemies and talked about new mechanics that we added. We want to make sure that combat is both satisfying and immersive. This is why we introduced a slice through mechanic. You can no longer wave your sword around to damage your enemies. Instead, you have to carefully swing it so it slices through just like you can see here. Combat continues to develop, change and improve, and I can't wait for you all to see what the team has in store for combat in future devlogs. Next up, I asked Calvin to showcase some of the early level building tools for the game, and this is what he had to show and say.
Hello, my name is Calvin. I am the feature team lead on our maps team for our upcoming project, and I'm going to show you a little bit today about the level building tools that we are developing to support the creation of this game. Here we've got our root level builder tool object. Generally speaking, the way that this system works is this tool allows us to define splines along the ground that then are quickly generated into full, complete, enclosed environments. And obviously these tools are very early on in production, but I thought it would be fairly interesting to showcase sort of what they can do even at this very early stage. And it's extremely straightforward, couldn't be easier. As simple as creating a curve and optionally naming it, but generally speaking, it's a good idea. And then plugging it in to our tool. And just like that, in about 30 seconds worth of effort, we've got a room. If I were to add a little bit of complexity to this, let's say, pull that out there. Maybe add an extra curve here. Line those up with the grid a little bit. You can see that with this workflow, it is extremely easy to make all sorts of different shapes and sizes of room. Now, once we've got our room, we've got a couple of debug options, such as toggling off ceilings so that you can sort of see inside the room that you're making. In addition to being able to simply just generate rooms, the tool also can generate geometry within the rooms as well. So if I go back and make a new curve here, and I don't know, just sort of slap something down like that, I can then take this curve, let's say move it up about 4 meters or so, and then plug it in. You can see that even though I haven't quite lined all of this up exactly with the grid properly, it still snaps to the closest grid point. But you can see that we've managed to, in essentially seconds, generate a island platform here. And that's just like the rest of this, it's extremely easy to edit this. Give the thing a second to think. There we go. And I can move around the islands. I can very easily add some extra interest to it, make it like an L shape. And in addition to the sort of like raw geometry editing and adding, we've also got some tools for controlling sort of where doors and holes in the wall exist at. So you can see we've got these 2 controllers. If we simply just slot them into the tool, you can see that the controllers actually do dynamically add cuts in the geometry and automatically add all of the requisite pieces to make it fit with our modular kit. And what's really nice is that if we want to sort of just say that this island is something that players can walk underneath, so it's not like a solid thing underneath, we need to just take this one object and resize it to cover that whole area, and boom. This is now an area that players can walk underneath. It's all pretty easy and straightforward. That's about it for right now. These are tools that we are developing for this game. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.
And with those tools, a little combat practice level was made. And here we are, this is the combat review environment, where you can test, practice, and see combat develop over time. This environment was built using the same tools that Calvin showcased in the previous development update video too, and has received some awesome looking lighting that you can see here from Sean, our lead environment artist. Here you will see 3 hallways, each featuring different enemies in a variety of states for you to test your combat skills on. For our developers, this environment serves as a way to ensure everything runs smoothly and works as expected before integration into the main raid environment. Let's venture down this first hallway on the right, which has a variety of skeletons in different states: idle, attacking, and walking. You can walk up to any of these and swing away, and in the future, as combat develops, those new features will be able to be tested here before diving into a raid. Another great feature of this environment is that if one of the skeletons manages to kill you, you'll just respawn right back in this environment so you can get back to practicing combat quickly. Now let's take a look down at those other 2 hallways I showed earlier as well. Down the hallway on the left, you'll notice a skeleton patrolling this area, and if it catches sight of you, it will approach and begin to attack. Similarly, down the other hallway, there is a skeleton stood on watch, waiting to catch sight of you, get too close, and it will approach and begin to attack. And one more thing for this week's update, you may have noticed it already, but enemies now track you with their heads and their eyes. It's pretty creepy. And that's everything from Project 2's development in February. Tune in again next week as I'll be showcasing you all the updates from March, including an interview with Alex about combat. Make sure to join Discord via the link on the screen or in the description, and let us know what you think of what we've shown so far. We also post these devlogs over on the Discord as well, so you can catch up with the progress of development now if you'd like. Thanks for watching, and make sure to tune in to the next one by hitting that subscribe button and selecting the bell so that you can be notified every single week when we release one of these brand new devlogs looking at the development of Project 2 here at Alta. I'll see you all in the next one.